And now it's time for lefties losing it. And Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett, well, she is back in the headlines. You might remember when she ridiculed Texas Governor Greg Abbott for being in a wheelchair, calling him the Governor Hot Wheels.
We in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot-ass mess, honey.
Or perhaps the time she admitted that she was only hired because she was black.
When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black.
Well, now she's come out swinging, calling for Republicans to question President Trump's mental acuity.
It is time for Republicans to start calling him out and start questioning his mental acuity and whether or not he is equipped to serve mentally.
Well, that's all very interesting, because where was she when people were questioning Joe Biden's mental acuity?
People tried to talk about the mental acuity of Joe Biden, and as someone who was able to interact with him, I never questioned his mental acuity.
And if that isn't enough Jasmine Crockett cringe for one day, enjoy this short clip that she shared on her social media. Yes, she actually thought this was something worth sharing.
Jasmine Crockett, she rises with the dawn, fighting for justice, her light will never be gone.
Now see here, none other than Hollywood action star Chuck Norris. Well, he explains why he left the Democrats and became a Republican.
I used to be a Democrat, but unfortunately the Democrats went too far to the left, and the Republicans moved into their position that the Democrats were 40 years ago. See, and so what the Democrats believed 40 years ago, the Republicans believe today. And so I realized that I had to go to a Republican because the Democrats just got too far off the trail.
And it's not at all hard to see what Chuck is talking about. Look at this new poll, which indicates that AOC best represents the Democratic Party values.
Who is, in fact, the leader of the Democratic Party. And a recent poll showed Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez topping the list of Democrats who best represent the party's values.
That should terrify every Democrat. Yes, that's the same AOC who, when she isn't pretending to be a fashion model, is telling people to ignore the rule of law.
I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that the courts have the legitimacy and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings.
Classy with a capital K. Joining me now is political commentator and author of The Children We Left Behind, Adam B. Coleman. Adam, an allegation was made some months back about the use of AutoPen during the Biden administration, and then obviously consequently questions over who was pulling the strings if the former president wasn't wet ink signing things himself. So what's the latest with this AutoPen situation?
Yeah, the latest with the AutoPen situation is that the GOP is now starting to do investigations. They're making claims about staffers being the ones who are actually making decisions as to what is actually being signed, supposedly by the president. And coincidentally, you have some Democrats, some of whom are media personalities like Jake Tapper, who are coming out and saying that Joe Biden's cognitive ability was declining. The thing that we all could tell, if we were just being honest and paying attention. And that puts into question, was he aware of all the things that were happening in the White House? And if he wasn't, who was behind it? So it's less about the AutoPen, because even Trump has used AutoPen. But he's aware that it's being used. Yeah. He's given the authorization for it being used. But if Joe Biden is sleeping all day and someone else is turning on the AutoPen function and pardoning people, just because they're currying favors, that's a massive issue.